As dawn breaks, you find yourself standing by a serene lake. Its surface a mirror, reflecting the first soft hues of pink and gold. The air is cool, scented with dew, and the faint sweetness of wildflowers. You're here not to escape, but to learn. Guided by Ananda, a Buddhist lay teacher, whose warm presence has soothed countless anxious hearts. This journey isn't just about understanding anxiety. It's about living through it with clarity and peace. Let your breath slow, your body relax, and allow the lakeside to hold you gently. Welcome to this moment, where every worry has a purpose, and every fear carries wisdom. You step onto a soft path of grass and pebbles, leading to a wooden dock that extends over the still water. The air, crisp with the scent of pine, and cool from the retreating night, fills your lungs, a welcome contrast to the tightness that often resides in your chest. Ahead, the lake stretches out, a vast expanse of calm, broken only by the shimmering reflections of the nascent sun. As you draw closer, a figure comes into sharper focus. It's Ananda, a Buddhist lay teacher, his frame radiating a quiet strength, his presence a beacon of tranquility. He's dressed in simple, earthy robes that blend seamlessly with the natural backdrop, and his gray eyes, calm yet piercing, seem to hold an ancient wisdom, as if he sees not just your physical form, but the very weight you carry in your heart. He turns as you approach, his gaze settling on you with a gentle recognition. There's no surprise in his expression, only a profound understanding. You've come because anxiety finds you, he says, his voice a low, steady murmur, as soothing as the lake's gentle lapping against the shore. His words aren't a question, but an observation, striking a chord deep within you. It's as if he's articulated the unspoken truth that has gnawed at you for so long, the constant companion you've tried so desperately to outrun. He continues, his voice unwavering. It tightens your chest, clouds your mind, whispers of futures not yet here. It's the incessant what if, the relentless pursuit of control over what is inherently uncontrollable. You feel a familiar knot of worry stir at his words, a recognition of the precise sensations he describes, the tightness in your chest, the scattered thoughts, the dizzying projections into an uncertain tomorrow. He knows it all. It's as if he's walked this path himself, or perhaps guided countless others through its winding turns. But then, he offers a different perspective, a subtle shift in the narrative that catches your attention. But what if I told you? Anxiety arises for a reason, and within it lies a path to peace. This isn't a dismissal of your struggle, but an invitation to view it through a new lens. A reason, a path to peace within anxiety. It's a revolutionary thought, one that challenges your deeply ingrained belief that anxiety is purely an enemy to be vanquished. You've always seen it as something to be fought, suppressed, or escaped. The idea that it could hold a lesson, a wisdom, is foreign, yet compelling. You nod. A small, involuntary gesture, signifying your openness to this new understanding, even as the familiar tremor of unease still lingers. Ananda perceives your unspoken assent. He gestures to a woven mat, lying neatly on the worn planks of the dock, positioned to face the breathtaking expanse of the lake. Sit with me, he invites, his hand sweeping gracefully. His invitation is not a command, but a gentle pull, drawing you into his sphere of calm. You move to the mat, the rough texture of the woven fibers, a grounding sensation beneath your fingertips. As you settle onto the mat, the wood beneath you feels warm from the rising sun, a comforting contrast to the cool morning air. The sun, now higher above the distant mountains, casts a golden shimmer across the water, painting streaks of light across the tranquil surface. Ananda sits opposite you, his posture erect yet relaxed, embodying the very peace he speaks of. He then shares a fundamental truth, a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy that challenges the conventional approach to inner turmoil. In the Buddha's teachings, we don't fight anxiety. We meet it with mindfulness, like greeting an old friend who has something to teach. The words resonate deeply. Fighting implies a battle, an adversarial relationship, which you know from experience only intensifies the struggle. But greeting suggests acknowledgement, acceptance, even a quiet curiosity. And the analogy of an old friend who has something to teach reframes anxiety from a tormentor into a potential guide, a messenger with a valuable lesson. It disarms the fear, transforming the perceived threat into an opportunity for growth. As you sit there, a gentle breeze ripples the lake, sending tiny waves to kiss the dock's edge with soft, rhythmic whispers. It's a subtle reminder of the ever-present movement in nature, a mirror to the constant ebb and flow of thoughts and emotions within your own mind. Ananda's gaze drifts across the water, then back to you. Notice this moment, he says, his voice barely above a whisper, yet it cuts through the internal chatter, the air, the water, the light. He gestures around him, inviting you to fully immerse yourself in the immediate sensory experience. Anxiety, he explains, pulls you to the future or past. It drags you into worries about what might happen, or regrets about what has already been. But peace lives here, now. His words are a simple, yet profound directive. Shift your attention from the swirling vortex of past and future, and anchor yourself firmly in the present. In this moment, on this dock, surrounded by the tranquility of the lake and the warmth of the sun, there is no pressing threat, no urgent demand. There is only the gentle rhythm of nature and the possibility of finding stillness within. It's a lesson That feels both ancient and utterly fresh. A key to unlocking a calm you've long sought, but never truly found. Ananda gently picks up a small pebble from the edge of the dock, holding it between his fingers. The early morning sunlight catches the smooth surface of the stone, highlighting faint, swirling patterns. Anxiety is like this pebble, he explains, his tone calm. It feels solid, heavy, very real. We feel its undeniable weight pressing down on us, making our breath labored, our steps hesitant. It can make you believe it's a fixed part of you, a burden that will never let go. He invites you closer, his gaze gentle, yet meaningful. But look closer. With a decisive, yet soft motion, he drops the pebble into the lake. A small plop echoes, and immediately, the pebble sinks deep, leaving ripples that spread wide, radiating from the point of impact towards the lake's edge. Eventually, they weaken and disappear, leaving the water to return to its original stillness. Anxiety arises from conditions, thoughts, memories, expectations. And like these ripples, it passes when those conditions shift. He explains that no emotion, no matter how intense, is permanent. Everything changes. Everything flows. The Buddha taught that nothing is permanent, not even the tightest grip of fear. This is a powerful reminder of impermanence, anicca, one of the core Buddhist teachings, that all things are fleeting, constantly changing, always in flux. Even the most uncomfortable feelings are no exception. You instinctively think of moments when anxiety has overwhelmed you. The pounding heart before a big decision, the sleepless nights replaying mistakes, the vague dread of an ill-defined future. In those moments, anxiety wasn't just an emotion. It was an entity that controlled your entire body and mind. Ananda seems to sense your thoughts, as if he can read the deepest layers of worry in your soul. The Buddha's first noble truth is that suffering exists. He says, his voice devoid of judgment, brimming with compassion. Anxiety is part of this human experience. It's not a flaw in you. He emphasizes that experiencing anxiety isn't a sign of weakness or personal failure. It's a universal aspect of life, a part of the human condition. We often feel there's something wrong with us when anxiety arises. But that's not true. Anxiety is simply part of life's flow, a natural reaction of the mind to uncertainty. However, he also clarifies an important point. But suffering grows when we resist it, when we demand it leave, or when we believe it defines us. This is a crucial insight. It's the resistance itself, the refusal to accept anxiety's presence, that truly prolongs and deepens the suffering. When you try to push it away, it often clings tighter. When you believe anxiety is your essence, I am an anxious person, you inadvertently allow it to control your life. Ananda explains that clinging to anxiety or desperately trying to eliminate it, are both forms of attachment, upadana, a deep-seated cause of suffering. In Buddhist teachings, he points to a lotus flower near the dock, half open in the dawn light. Its pristine white petals stand out against the muddy earth below. This lotus grows from mud, yet blooms untouched. He pauses, his gaze encouraging. Your anxiety, too, can be the ground for wisdom, if you meet it with awareness. The image of the lotus is a powerful metaphor. It suggests that even from the most challenging, unpleasant conditions, like mud, beauty and wisdom can emerge. Anxiety, instead of being an obstacle, can become a teacher, a catalyst for deeper self-understanding, an insight into the world. By not turning away from it, but instead embracing it with awareness, you can transform fear into a path to liberation and inner peace. This is a hopeful promise that even in the darkest moments, the potential for growth and wisdom always exists. Let me share a story. Ananda says, his voice soft as the morning mist. A young woman once came to the Buddha, her mind consumed by worry. She feared losing her home, her loved ones, and her future. Each day, she lived in extreme unease. Thoughts of potential dangers ceaselessly haunting her mind. Why does this anxiety constantly cling to me? She asked, her face etched with exhaustion. Ananda pauses, his gaze distant, looking towards the lake, as if he's seeing the river from his own story. The Buddha didn't answer immediately with complex words. Instead, he pointed to a nearby river. Watch it flow, he said. Does it cling to one shore, or fight the rocks in its path? You picture the woman observing the river, each ripple of water flowing ceaselessly, effortlessly winding around obstacles, without getting stuck, without trying to change its inherent course. The water doesn't cling to the past of where it's been, nor does it worry about what it will encounter ahead. It simply flows. She observed the water, moving effortlessly around obstacles, never stopping. The river accepted everything it encountered, be it rocks or logs, and continued its journey. Your mind can flow like this, the Buddha told her. Anxiety arises, but you need not cling to it. Observe it, let it pass, and return to this moment. Ananda emphasizes that clinging to anxiety is like trying to hold onto river water. The harder you try, the more it slips through your fingers, and the more helpless you feel. The solution isn't to fight, but to observe and let go. The story settles over you, like the lake's calm surface. It's not a magical solution, but a subtle shift in perspective. From a battle to an act of acceptance and release. Ananda brings you back to the present moment. Let's practice now, he instructs, his voice a gentle invitation, completely unforced. Close your eyes, he says. Feel your breath, the cool air as it enters, and the warmth as it leaves. You follow, focusing on the natural rhythm of your breath. This is your anchor, the only thing, always in the present. Notice any anxiety in your body, tightness, warmth, a racing pulse. Don't fight it. Don't try to chase it away. Just observe, as you would watch clouds drift across the sky. Ananda isn't asking you to eliminate anxiety, but to change your relationship with it. Instead of an enemy, it becomes an object of observation. Just as you observe harmless clouds passing by, you don't try to disperse the clouds. You simply acknowledge their presence. You follow Ananda's words, and to your surprise, the mere act of observing, without judgment, softens the edges of worry. The feeling of tension doesn't completely vanish, but it's no longer a relentless grip. It becomes looser, like a rope that has been slackened. The gentle lapping of the lake becomes a rhythm for your breath. Slow, steady, grounding you firmly in the present. In this moment, you're not pulled into the past or the future. There is only you, your breath, and the peace of the lake. You begin to understand that the stillness you seek isn't the absence of anxiety, but the ability to recognize it without being swept away. Ananda gently kneels by the water's edge, inviting you to do the same. As you kneel, a cool sensation from the wooden dock permeates your knees, awakening your senses from over-focus on yourself. Dip your hand here, he says, his tone calm, yet profoundly meaningful. You slowly lower your hand, touching the cool surface of the water, feeling its silky, gentle movement across your fingertips. It's a vivid sensation, a direct connection to the present. Now, stir the water gently. You do. You watch the ripples spread outward from where your hand touched, gradually expanding, colliding with others, merging into the existing tiny waves. On the lake, your thoughts are like these ripples, Ananda explains, looking at you with understanding eyes. An anxious thought, a fear of impending failure, a ceaseless worry about tomorrow, creates waves in your mind. He pauses, letting the image settle. Every thought, no matter how small, has the potential to create a ripple effect. In Buddhism, we call this dependent origination, Duyin Koi. Every thought arises from conditions, past experiences, present pressures, and will fade when those conditions change. He explains that our minds ceaselessly generate streams of thoughts, and when we cling to an anxious one, we allow it to cascade through our nervous system, body, breath, emotion. Like a stone thrown into a lake, it doesn't just create one ripple, but many. You sit with this, visualizing the streams in your own mind. Endless ripples, endless motion. You ask, your voice carrying a hint of bewilderment. But why does anxiety feel so uncontrollable? The question rises from deep within. That quiet, aching sense of powerlessness you've carried for so long. Ananda smiles. A gentle, compassionate smile. As if he's heard this question countless times and knows its root by heart. Because we grasp at thoughts, believing their truth. He says this simply, without judgment. We identify with what the mind produces. An anxious thought appears, and we believe it is an unshakable reality, rather than a passing phenomenon. He looks to the lake. Its surface, now still again. The Buddha taught, thoughts are not you. They are merely fleeting. Like these ripples. He gestures to the calm water. Mindfulness allows you to see them without being swept away. This is the key. Mindfulness doesn't require you to stop thoughts, only to change your relationship with them. You become the observer, not the victim. He reaches beside him, picks up a small, smooth pebble, worn by the river. Over time, drop this one, he says. But imagine, it's an anxious thought. You hold the pebble in your palm. Cool. Slightly heavy. Real. You take a breath, deep and aware. Then slowly release your hand. You watch the pebble sink. Watch the ripples spread, fade, vanish. The lake stills again. This is your power, Ananda says, his voice echoing in the morning air. Your ability to notice, to recognize thoughts as they arise, to let go, not cling, not react, and to return to now, to your breath, to the stillness of this moment. He makes no promise that anxiety will disappear forever, for it is part of life's flow. But he offers you something greater, the understanding that you can change your relationship with it. You have the power to ride the waves of thought and rest in the deep peace beneath the surface. As the sun climbs higher, its morning rays have turned a golden hue, casting glittering reflections across the lake. The warm light spreads, dispelling the last remnants of the early chill, creating a space that is both still and full of energy. Ananda turns to you, his eyes carrying a gentle invitation. Now, let's practice a meditation together, he suggests, his voice warm and soft like a gentle breeze. Sit comfortably, he instructs. Rest your hands gently on your knees. Feel the solidity of the dock beneath you. You follow, adjusting your posture to feel as relaxed as possible. The warm sensation from the wooden dock spreads, helping you feel grounded. Bring your attention to your breath. Don't try to control it. Just simply notice its natural rhythm. You inhale, feeling the cool air glide through your nostrils. And exhale, sensing the warmth leaving your body. The rhythm of your breath gradually slows, becoming deeper and more even, like the gentle lapping of the lake's waves. Now, scan your body, Ananda continues. His voice steady and soft. Where does anxiety reside? Is it a tight sensation in your throat? Or an uncomfortable heaviness in your stomach? Or a rapid, pounding heartbeat in your chest? He encourages you to explore each part of your body, not overlooking any area where anxiety might be hiding. Observe without judgment, as if you're a scientist studying a fascinating phenomenon. His words remind you not to self-criticize or try to change the sensation. The sole purpose is to identify and accept its presence. You follow his guidance. Immediately, you notice a dull tension in your shoulders, as if you've been carrying an invisible burden for a long time. At the same time, you feel a slight flutter in your chest, a familiar sign of worry. You simply acknowledge them, without trying to make them disappear. Good, Ananda says softly, as if he can sense what you're experiencing. Now, with each exhale, imagine softening around that sensation. Don't push it away. Just let it be, like a leaf gently floating on this lake. He isn't asking you to dispel the anxiety, but to create space for it, allowing it to exist without controlling you. You inhale. The tension is still there, but as you exhale, you visualize a spreading relaxation, easing the tightness. As you continue to breathe, you notice a subtle shift. The tension in your shoulders doesn't completely vanish, but it no longer feels solid or rigid. It becomes less dense, more like a passing breeze, palpable but no longer gripping you. The flutter in your chest also lessens in intensity, settling into a more regular beat. When anxious thoughts arise, he continues, his voice remaining calm. Don't chase their stories. Don't let them pull you into endless what-if scenarios. Simply note them. Silently label them worry, fear, and then gently return to your breath. Ananda reminds you of the power of not identifying with your thoughts. Thoughts are like guests that come and go. You are the host observing them. This is mindfulness. Seeing clearly. Resting in the present. His words resonate in the quiet space, encapsulating the entire lesson. Mindfulness isn't a state without thoughts or emotions, but the ability to be aware of everything happening within and around you, without being swept away by it. It's the complete presence in this moment, where peace is always available. The meditation deepens, the lake's stillness clearly mirroring the growing calm within you. The entire world seems to shrink to just this moment. You, your breath, and the placid water under the morning light. Ananda's voice returns, still gentle but clear, like a temple bell chiming in the serene space. Anxiety will come again. It's part of life's conditions. It's a natural, unavoidable wave. But you can face it differently. He speaks with a steady tone, carrying a steadfastness you feel you need. When it strikes, pause. Don't rush to react or run away. Just halt. He advises you to ask questions like an inner explorer. Ask yourself, what conditions are feeding this feeling? Is it some obsessive thought? Or a specific situation that just occurred? Identifying the cause, even if temporarily, helps you detach from the emotion, viewing it more objectively. Then, ask, what would happen if I resisted? How many times have I tried that? And what was the result? And most importantly, What response will create peace? These questions aren't about finding a single answer, but about shifting your mind's direction from instinctual reaction to conscious choice. These questions are your compass, guiding you back to mindfulness, to clear, non-judgmental awareness of the present. Ananda hands you a small, smooth stone from the lake's edge, its surface worn by countless years of water. It's cool and sleek to the touch. Keep this, he says. When anxiety stirs, hold it in your hand. Take 3 conscious breaths. And remember, everything arises from conditions, and everything passes. You are not your anxiety. You are the awareness that sees it. His words are a liberation. You are not defined by what you feel. You are the consciousness that encompasses all those sensations. You gently slip the stone into your pocket. Its cool weight a tangible reminder of this moment, of the profound lesson just shared. As you rise to leave, the lake shimmers under the morning sun, alive with possibility. Every tiny ripple, every gleaming reflection, seems to whisper of transformation. Ananda stands with you. His presence is steady as a mountain. The Buddha's wisdom isn't distant, he says. It's right here. In your breath. In your footsteps. In your choice to meet each moment with clarity. He emphasizes that peace isn't a distant destination, but a choice available in every single moment. When anxiety strikes, return to this lake in your mind. Let its stillness remind you. You are free to choose peace. You walk back along the path, the world seeming brighter, your heart lighter. The pebbles underfoot, the chirping birds, the scent of plants, all seem more vibrant and fresh. Allow these teachings to settle in your mind as you rest tonight, knowing that every anxious moment is a teacher, every breath a chance to return to peace. Everything happens for a reason, and in mindfulness, you find freedom. Freedom from the grip of fear. Freedom to live fully in each present moment.